Let's do a little bit of a recap right here. DIFS RIP, D.I.F.S.R.I.P. First, we start with a data page to check the aircraft status, the engine option, and the validity of our database. Then we went on to fill out the INIT A page with the from and to, cost index, cruising flight level, and flight number. From there, we went to the flight plan. The flight plan required us to put in the departing runway, the SID, as well as the entire en route segment with waypoints and airways, and the arrival into our destination with the approach and runway we expect to use, and finally string it all together to have one complete flight plan. If you have an alternate put into the INIT A page, you will also use the flight plan page here to set up the entire flight plan for the alternate. After that, we set up the secondary flight plan, and the secondary flight plan we used for either a possible change in the runway for departure, a departure or takeoff alternate, a complicated engine out SID, an immediate return back to our departure, or just a copy of the active. We went through a setup where we looked at how to set up the secondary flight plan for an immediate return, including performance for that return. Then we went on to the RADNAV page where we manually inserted information for the nav aids to be used at departure. From the RADNAV page, we then had to set up the performance part of the MCDU setup. The performance took us back to the INIT page, but this time the INIT B page, where we set in the zero fuel CG and the zero fuel weight. Together with the fuel planning prompt or the block fuel manually inserted, will calculate all the fuel, the takeoff weight, the landing weight, and also complete all the performance for the actual flight plan. From the INIT B, we then looked at information for the performance. We inserted the V-speeds, we inserted the flap setting for takeoff, the THS trim setting, and we looked at the values, if required, that needed to be changed for flexible deviated takeoff, thrust reduction altitudes, acceleration altitude, transition altitude, as well as a takeoff shift if applicable. The very last page was the progress page, and the progress page was used for situational awareness. We set in the departure threshold. In my case here, it was Lima Foxtrot Bravo Oscar 14 right, to give us an exact bearing and distance back to that threshold in case of an emergency right after takeoff. We also check the accuracy of the IRS, which should be high if we have GPS primary. And that is the full setup of the aircraft for takeoff. Now, as part of the preparation, we will have for takeoff on the pilot flying side, in this case, I'm pilot flying on the left side here, I will have the performance page showing on my MCDU, and my co-pilot will have on his or her side the flight plan page shown. Mandatory setup for takeoff. In the Airbus aircraft, this is how we set up our MCDU for departure. Now, whether or not you are flying the Airbus A320 family, 330 or 340, if you're looking at the generation of aircraft that is similar to the 320, it will be the same setup. For the newer generation aircraft, such as the A350 or the A380, you are looking at a different setup because much more integration has been done through the MCDU and the flight management and guidance system. But this is the foundation for how to operate the MCDU. Also, having looked at all the pages and how to insert information, this is fundamental to how any of the MCDUs will work on the aircraft.